Good morning, and yes, it is morning. It's 3:58 in the morning, 2 minutes away from matching my username, the 4 a.m. 49er, and I'm here once again because the 49ers were playing in prime time tonight against the Carolina Panthers. They've come out with a 20-9 win, probably one of the ugliest wins we'll see this year. But you know what? I'm pretty happy. I mean, for one thing, when you stay up till 4 a.m., the thing you want most is the result, not the performance. And we haven't really been able to do that at times this year, but we've done it today. And it keeps us in the playoff hunt. 8-4. It's an NFC win as well, which could be important down the stretch. Yeah, I mean, there's lots you could talk about. We'll have to start with Christian McCaffrey, who was just simply outstanding. I want to throw. I want to throw up. I want to throw Brian Robinson's name in there as well. I think he suits our offense so well with his hard nose running. Um, George Kittle, as good as ever. The offensive line had its best game in months. I'm not sure if it's related to Ben Barch being back. I don't know. Or even Spencer Burford just having some experienced guys on the interior feels like it makes a big difference. I apologise. I'm still getting over last week's cold. Um, yeah, it's a very nice win as Juwan Jennings seems to be starting a fight with the entire Panthers team, which is fun. But hey, um, elephant in the room, Brock Purdy tried to give him the game in the first half. Three terrible interceptions. I think if you look at them all, there's not one where I'm looking at and going, "Oh God, what's he doing?" But like, they're not throws he should be making. It was pretty clear from the off that what we needed to be was patient and just take what take what Carolina was willing to give us. And once we started doing that, things settled down. I thought we were really good second half. Um, but it wouldn't have been possible without the defense. I think that was our best defensive performance since the Atlanta Falcons win. Cleve Farrell got a sack, which always warms my heart a little bit. I like Cleve Farrell. Just one of those guys that gives 100% all the time. Doesn't necessarily wow you, but just gets there. Upton Stout, really good. Upton Stout was really, really good tonight. He's had his moments. He's had his trouble in coverage this year, but he was solid against the run and the pass tonight, almost had an interception. Speaking of interceptions, got to give a big shout out to a guy that I normally shit all over. Jair Brown was brilliant tonight. I think that's the best I've probably ever seen him play. He was everywhere. And he got two interceptions to boot, which meant that Malik Mustafa played well. And it's like I've said in many, many articles that I've written, you can see him, on the links that I provide. Niner Noise and Sidelinr Sports. Whenever the 49ers safeties play well, Robert Saleh's defense generally looks better. It ain't rocket science, and we've made it work. Saleh deserves some real credit. I thought he came up with a really good game plan tonight. I was actually a little bit worried about playing Carolina coming in after 400 odd yards of offense last week, but shut them down completely. I don't think we were ever really under that much pressure, in spite of all our attempts to make it an interesting game. Carolina never really took the bait. And yeah, we did our job. Special teams played well. It might be the only game Matt Gay ever plays for the 49ers, but he did his job. Nick Martin was really good on special teams, forced a fumble, had a couple of other big hits as well. I'm pretty happy with everyone tonight. There'll be the usual tedious discussion on Purdy, but at the end of the day, who really cares? Some players make. Purdy's always going to be that guy. He's always going to try and make a play, and then sometimes he's going to make you pull your hair out, and other times you'll be glad you had him. I'm personally glad we've got him. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So we'll move on to next week. We got a tough one, really, against the Browns. Their defense is really, really good, so that will be a test for our offense and our offensive line and getting our run game going and getting Purdy going and all those things. Hopefully, we can do that. But defensively, it should be an interesting challenge as well. Shedeur Sanders is getting a lot of hype yesterday for essentially beating the Raiders, which doesn't seem like the hardest thing to do. So we'll see what challenge that brings. But it doesn't really matter. Right now, all the 49ers have got to do is win games. And I think in general, when you look across the league, the fact is There aren't many good teams. There probably aren't any good teams. The Rams possibly, but we've beaten the Rams. Everyone else has got a flaw or two or three or several. The Eagles lost to the Cowboys from nowhere. The Chiefs are not as good as they were. The Lions are a very good team, but just don't seem to be able to put it together. You can make an argument about any team not being very good, is kind of what I'm saying. And I think this year, more than any, the key is just getting the playoffs and see what happens. And I'm quite happy to do that with this team. I had no real expectation of this team coming in to the season. So to be sitting here with 8 wins at the end of November with a pretty clear path to 10 wins plus is quite gratifying, really. And I hope they'll take the win home tonight. I hope they'll feel pretty good about themselves. They deserve to. They worked hard. Um, Cal Shanahan should absolutely be in the Coach of the Year conversation. The one thing that's perhaps held him back is that we haven't been able to, recently at least, string multiple wins together. We actually broke a win-loss pattern that has been going for several weeks today. But hopefully we could continue that next week with a third straight win, and it might just keep us in the hunt for the playoffs. I don't know what to expect from this team, but I'm just enjoying when they get the win. So yeah, big shout outs to the safeties, big shout outs to McCaffrey and Robinson, big shout outs to the O line, big shout outs to the D line who worked their asses off tonight. Maybe didn't make flashy plays here and there, but did the job. Special teams is getting better all the time. Sky Moore was really good as a returner again. So yeah, you know what? Everybody just enjoy the moment, enjoy the win. I'm going to go to bed with a smile on my face at 4:05 in the morning, and that's all I can ask for from this young, improving, dynamic team. So I'll see you again next week, and hopefully we've got more good things to say. But until that time, go Niners!